We're joined by Craig Fitzgerald, lead singer of the brilliant indie the band The Academic from County Westmeath. Craig, thanks indeed for talking to us. What do you hope to achieve from this meeting this morning?
Well, I hope, basically, I think we just want to see some clarity and have a bit of an idea as to when we'll have a plan of music coming back to Ireland. I feel like we've all been sitting here kind of feeling very neglected now at this stage. And I think, you know, what's going on like over the border and across in the UK, like live music is back and it's not that far away from us. And it just feels as though things should be coming back to normal here, or we need to be at least trying it and trying to live with the pandemic and music coming back. I hope something is established in that way.
You mentioned across the border, I mean, 5,000 people at Tom Jones last weekend. I think there's going to be 500 at Pearse Stadium to see the Stunning. It seems like a sort of ridiculously small number for an outdoor gig, doesn't it?
It does. And I mean, like, next week, us as a band, we're travelling across over to the UK to work and play music at Reading and Leeds at one of the biggest festivals, and it's all going ahead as normal. And it's just insane to think that we'll be doing that before we even have a clue if like people can, you know, put on a gig in a pub, or, you know, roadies and techs can get back to work. You know, it's just insane that people's livelihoods are coming back, but it's not in the country that they're living in, you know.
You're hoping for a roadmap. Would you have a date in mind where you think it's kind of realistic to sort of get back to normal? Is it kind of straight away, or do you think that's probably asking for too much at this point?
Listen, like, I'm definitely not a professional or anything, but I just feel like the music industry isn't something, it's not a switch that you can just turn on. You know, people need planning, you know, venues have to be booked. People need to, you know, kind of plan in ahead in advance. So if it was to be something like, oh yeah, you can all go for it now, it'll be a bit of a nightmare. And I think that there should have been plans put in place for people to know what's going on. Like, there's gigs been announced for September, November, and people are now starting to feel, obviously Electric Picnic was like the beacon of hope, and that's gone, and that's worried people. And now it's like, is this all just going to be swept away from us now at this stage? So there needs to be a bit of a building block to it, but maybe like you can't rush that. And I feel like that would be kind of, you know, not a good way of doing that for people. There's so many people that need to get back to work, and it just has to be done in a correct way. So hopefully something positive comes out of it today.
Just before I let you go, Craig, how have you guys fared? Because, I mean, you were kind of on the crest of a wave. You'd signed a record deal. Your debut album had got great acclaim. You were doing a lot of big gigs and stuff. And then the breaks have to come on. How have you managed over the last 18 months?
Look, it's been difficult. And it's been difficult for everybody, from up-and-coming bands to bands who are established, to even students who are studying music. You know, it's been that way. We're lucky, we're in a kind of privileged situation. We did get to sign a great deal that we've been working on, and like working on our music for an extremely long time. And we were excited, loads of plans to get out and do stuff. And yeah, it's been tough. Mentally, it's been difficult on everybody. You know, not having that kind of lifestyle, and that work life is gone. And everyone's had to dig deep at this stage, and I think it's getting a little bit sour now, because we're looking at our friends. People are going around traveling in the UK, playing gigs, and something has to kind of come back now here, you know.
Okay, all right. Well, look, we wish you well with that meeting, and we wish you well with your future as well. Craig Fitzgerald, lead singer of The Academic, thank you indeed for talking to Newstalk Breakfast.